Okay, so the hive we're going to be dealing with today is this one here. And that has a drone laying queen currently, which means that she can't lay any fertilised eggs to produce any workers because a drone is unfertilised. So she's laying excessive amounts of drones, and that means that the colony will dwindle and die. So we have to kill this queen to save this hive. And it's a bit unfortunate, but we do have to kill the queen to save the hive. So what is a drone-laying queen? So a drone-laying queen is basically a queen that can't lay any fertilised eggs. And a worker bee, which is the bee you see in your garden, that comes from a fertilised egg. So in a beehive, the workers do all the work, obviously, hence the name. And the drones, they don't do anything, so they rely on the workers to feed themselves and stuff like that. So if the queen has turned into a drone-laying queen, which is what you call it, that means she can only lay drone brood and drone eggs, so that's unfertilised eggs. And that will mean that the colony will dwindle and die if we don't, replace that queen. So I've opened up this colony, and you may think, oh, that's a really healthy colony. There's loads of bees. They're in 2 supers. I've had a honey crop off them this year. But once you delve into it, you realise there's something really wrong. This is a classic example of a drone-laying queen. Okay, so as you can see, there's lots of spotty drone brood. All of these bumpy kind of cells here, they're all drones. So there's quite a lot of them, isn't there? So, all those are drone brood, and there's not many eggs, and it's spotty, and all the frames are similar to this. So, unfortunately, we've got to kill the queen, and the queen is there, as you can see. She's the white dot on her. Now, don't run down there. We need you. Some unfortunately unpleasant business. So there she is. I'm afraid I'm just gonna have to pick her up and squish her, and it's not nice, but because she's a drone laying queen, she will kill this colony. And we want to overwinter this hive. We don't want it to die, so we're gonna have to kill it. Here she is. And what we're going to do is we're just going to have to pick her up and squish her. So, there she is. And unfortunately, squishing her is the kindest thing to do. Unfortunately, that is what has to happen. And now she is dead. So you may think it's really cruel to have to kill the queen, but it's one bee, and whether she's the queen or not doesn't really make a difference. And every single bee in this hive here would have died if we had allowed her to live, so we had to kill her. So I had to kill the queen to save the whole hive, really. You can actually buy a queen bee online, and they'll send it to you in special royal delivery post, guaranteed next day delivery. There you go. So that really is incredible, isn't it? Okay, so we are back at this problem hive, and the queen has arrived, and I've introduced her 4 days ago. Now I'm going to undo the cage, but what I've done to increase the acceptance rate of the queen is I've made some sugar syrup, which I'm going to feed to this one and another one over there which doesn't have a queen, to increase the acceptance rate. So that's a little trick that you can use, because when they're well fed, they're happier, and happier bees are more likely to accept a foreign queen to them. So here we go, we're going to go into this hive now. Okay, so what we've got here is we've got the queen in there. She's the one with the red dot on in the cage. You can't see her very well, but she's in that cage, and she was put in here into this hive without a queen 4 days ago. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go through and double check to make sure there are no queen cells or any viable materials to make a queen, because you can only get a queen bee in this cage accepted into a colony if they have nothing else to turn into a queen. So we're going to go and destroy all the queen cells to accept that queen in. So you can see here, this queen was a drone laying queen, which means she was doing spotty drone brood all along this frame. It's healthy brood, but it's the wrong type. It's drones, and that's no good for us. So they've made a queen cell there. Now if we left that queen cell, they would kill the queen I've purchased as soon as it hatched out. So we're going to have to destroy this one. You can see, I'm afraid that queen there would probably not be viable anyway, but that one's got to go, unfortunately. So again, you can see here, this is a queen cell, and we cannot let that exist. I'm afraid we have to pinch it. Okay, so what we've done now is this colony is hopelessly queenless. They have no means to make a queen, and they have no queen at all. You can tell by their agitated movements and the roar that the colony makes that they have no queen, and they're hopelessly queenless now. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this queen, the queen cage, with our beautiful mated queen in it. See, it's just there. It's right there. It's that beautiful one there. I'm going to take her and undo the plastic tab at the end of this cage so that they can have access to the fondant. They'll chew her out, and then she'll come out, and we'll check back on them in 10 days time to see if they've been accepted. If you don't do it in 10 days time, if you do it before 10 days time has elapsed, then they will reject her, and when you go in, they will absolutely kill her, and you'll be left with nothing and a useless queen. So we're taking all steps to avoid that. We've destroyed all the queen cells. They have nothing to accept but this queen. She's been in here for 4 days, which means they'll kind of have already accepted her. We're going to feed them with some sugar syrup, and there's a bit of a flow on at the moment, so that's all well. She's a beautiful queen. I really hope to God she's accepted. It's always a good sign that the cage is getting a lot of interest from the bees. They're not trying to sting it. They're feeding her through the cage slats. That's always a good sign, and all we can do is pray that she'll be accepted in the next 10 days. We'll give you an update in 10 days, and hopefully we'll find eggs and a beautiful laying queen. Hey guys, we are back at this amazing hive. Well, it wasn't amazing, but it should be soon. This is the one, and hopefully, fingers crossed, there will be a queen bee, a brand new queen bee, accepted into this hive. We can only hope. We can't really guarantee. I did everything to try and help it get accepted, but you know, you can't ever really guarantee these things. So let's crack into this hive. They should have finished out this delicious sugar syrup. I fed them, yep, all empty. You can see they're still trying to get little bits out. Up this lid. Here we are. I've only really got a super on so that they can have a bit more space for themselves. I mean, I don't really need this super. There's not really any flow going on anymore. I've got my trusty hive tool, a bit too big, but anyway. And crack. Always check the queen excluder for the queen, because if she's on it and you drop it and she flies off, that's not good. So I've just started pulling out this cage. This was the cage that she's in. Always a good sign to see that she's managed to they've managed to chew through the fondant of this cage. She's no longer in there, so I'll put that there. And we'll just go through checking this hive. I'll just go through each frame. There is our beautiful queen. She is accepted. There are eggs in the cells. She is a beauty. There's still some drone brood left from the other queen. Look at that amazing looking queen. She looks fabulous. Beautiful. Here we have a mated, accepted queen in this hive. I am so happy. It worked so well. You know, you can't ever really guarantee the acceptance of the queen. Thanks for watching. And please like and subscribe. Helps out the channel. I am just so pleased that this queen got accepted in this hive, and that should mean they overwinter fine. They go through till next year with a really good queen, and so that is the positive.